if you can start like introducing yourself, I think that would be a great way to start this presentation.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Tyler, for inviting us to do this webinar with you. And thank you to everyone who's joining us. I know that it's very interesting times, uncharted territory. And I'm Vidal Espinosa. I am Principal Director of Invictus Advisors, US and Mexico. I have over 23 years of CPA experience. I have a master's degree by Loyola University and IPADE. We are currently facing, as I said, uncharted territories. And in the last week and a half, we have become experts on the new relief that the federal government has pulled out for small businesses. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The 5 things you need to know about the new COVID-19 loan lifesaver. Because in reality, if you implement this act properly, it's going to save your life in your small business.
That's perfect, Vidal. And I've known Vidal for what I said, like nine years or something.
Something like that.
And Vidal is one of the few CPAs here in San Diego that can provide his services in both markets, Mexican market and in the US. So thank you very much, Vidal, for joining us. It says right here that the live is preparing, so we're gonna have a recording so we can share this later in our Facebook page. And I think at some point when this thing loads, we will get some other folks tuning in from Facebook, but the stage is yours, Vidal.
Perfect. Well, who are we? We already introduced Taide, our host, a bachelor's degree in economy and master's in marketing. He has over 15 years in both public and private sector, and he's committed to the Hispanic community in every sense of the word. He has supported and helped the community tremendously. Thank you for that, Taide.
No, thank you.
About HISEC, you know, it's a Hispanic Chamber of E-commerce. Their vision, you guys, you're here, so you pretty much know what HISEC does and what they're all about. If you have not joined, please do so. They have so much resources that you can utilize, and the connections are tremendous. As one of our mentors say, proximity is power. So the more connections you have, it's the more you are connected, and you can do much more things. That's Tony Robbins, by the way. Invictus Advisors, we are a business consulting firm that we help small business owners improve their cash flow. You will say, what is that? Well, we'll help you forecast, analyze month to month your cash. Everybody needs cash. What can you expect from this presentation? Well, first, the difficulties of the loan program. Even though, or most of us have read, seen multiple news, it's not as simple as it sounds. It's not free money. It's not for everyone. So stay tuned. If your business will qualify or not every business qualifies. Why getting the maximum loan amount might not be as easy as you think. Calculations have changed, and I'll talk about that. The complexities of getting the loan forgiven. That's where it comes in, the interesting part of cash flow management. And the importance of contacting a professional to work with. So let's get started. We're going to talk about 5 things you need to know about getting funding for the SBA PPP loan. That's a very interesting name. Let me start by dissecting really quick the the CARES Act. We have lending, we have payroll tax credits, we have tax planning for the individuals, and we also have cash flow. So today we're going to talk about the pieces, one of the pieces on the lending. Payroll credit, it's only if you don't apply for any of the loans and you continue with your current payroll. So you're going to be able to get a credit towards the taxes that you, the employer, pay to your employees. Okay? It's a very interesting calculation. The IRS came out with a form 3 days ago, and they changed it yesterday, and I'm pretty sure they're going to change it today. When it comes to personal tax planning, you can pull out up to $100,000 for your 401k without penalty. You'll have to pay taxes on it though, unless you roll it forward in less than 2 years. Okay, so, and obviously the $1,200 or $2,400 that we've been hearing about, $500 for our dependents. This is a credit that it's going to be applicable for 2020 tax return. So what they're doing is they're advancing that credit from your tax return for 2020. That's not the tax return that you're going to present this year. That's a tax return that you'll present in 2021 for the tax year of 2020. Okay, not everybody qualifies. There's a little calculation. Most of us will receive a check, and you're going to have to take it off your tax return for next year. So let's get into the 7A SBA PPP loan, which is the one that it's the most interesting one. The difficulty of the loan program. The SBA, it's changing calculations. The act was signed into law 2 weeks ago on Friday. The SBA and the feds had up till last Friday to roll out the regulations and guidelines for small businesses to apply. Okay, there's $365 billion allocated just to this loan program. On last Friday, every single bank was supposed, or lender authorized by the Small Business Administration, was supposed to have all the regulations and rules so they can roll out the program. Well, it was a chaos. It was a chaos because there were no guidelines on how to implement the program by the financial institutions. Bank of America offered the loan only for people or businesses that had a business relationship with them and a lending relationship with them. Wells Fargo was not ready. Chase was not ready. US Bank was not ready. Credit unions are not authorized in general to offer small business administration loans. So you had to go through another lender. Most financial institutions were only accepting information for current clients. So the only option was to, or is to go through a third-party lender that it's not a financial institution. The American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, they came up with rules on how to determine your average salary. We have had to prepare this calculation, I'm not kidding you, more than 10 times for every single client that we had applied for. Because the IRS, according to the IRS, certain things do qualify. According to the Treasury, other things do qualify. According to the SBA, other things qualify that do not qualify for the IRS nor the Department of Treasury. And the banks were considering independent contractors, 1099s, as part of that calculation. Now, it's agreed by the SBA that they do not are part of it. I'm pretty sure that I'm talking to you in a foreign language. Requirements are a living organism. Even though the Small Business Administration says that you only require this 2-3 things, that's not true. Our experience has been that each financial institution requires multiple documents and different documents from each other. It's very interesting because some financial institutions do require the articles of incorporation or organization, bylaws or operating agreements, minutes authorizing the members and or the board to get the loan, IDs from any owner, shareholder, member that has more than 20% of interest in the companies. This program does not require a personal guarantee. Nevertheless, they're going to run a soft check on your credit, and there are certain qualifications that you have to certify to. Each financial institution gives you different guidelines. There's no consistency. Everyone is asking whatever they want. Does your business qualify? Might be. If you have less than 500 employees, number one, yes. You must be a small business company as per SBA guidelines. Okay, that's very interesting. There's some guidelines that the Small Business Administration has had since ever as to what a small business administration, small business is. Okay, a 501c3, a nonprofit with less than 500 employees can qualify, and individuals who operate a sole proprietor business will be able to apply as of April 10. Okay, so an individual who operates as an independent contractor, that means a 1099. Yes, you'll be able to qualify for the average as well, but you're gonna be able to apply up to on April 10, starting April 10. Same as individuals who are self-employed, Schedule C. Tribal businesses, they will be able to apply as well, starting April 3rd. And 501c3-19s, which are veteran organizations that support our veterans, they're also qualified. Why getting the maximum loan amount might not be as easy as you think? Well, as I said, in order for you to qualify for the maximum amount that you think, there's multiple calculations that you have to do. At the beginning, they told us that it was net salary plus benefits, health insurance, and certain things like that. You get the average, but first it was the average from February 15th, June 15th of 2019. Then it was changed to January 1st to December 31st of 2019. If you've been in business since previous to February 15th, then they said that if you were a temporary business, you had to use the previous 6 months. So it's been a chaos. So how you calculate it? Your gross payroll minus the Social Security and Medicare that you pay for your employees, plus any state taxes for your payroll, okay? Plus workers' comp, plus health insurance if you pay health insurance for your employees. Then you have to do the average and multiply that 2.5 times. That's the maximum amount, okay? The complexity of getting the loan forgiven. The loan is forgiven only if you use and prove that the funds had been used for payroll after the 8 following weeks after you received the funds, interest for mortgage on your business property, okay? It cannot be for your house. Rent and basic utilities. What are basic utilities? Electricity, water, telephone, cell phone, and or internet, okay? But that's only up to 25%, those last three, up to 25% of the maximum loan that you have been given, okay? The form that you are going to submit to the banks that the SBA is going to approve, signed under penalty of perjury. What does that mean? That you're certifying that everything in the application, it's true to your knowledge, and you're going to utilize the funds for that purpose only, okay, I am pretty sure that the federal government, it's going to be very rigorously checking into pretty much the majority of those loans. And as like in 2008, 9, and 10, federal prisons started getting full of lenders for mortgages, the federal prisons in the next couple of years are going to start getting full with small business owners that certify this and they did not utilize the funds for that, regardless of whether you apply it or you get it forgiven. Now, this is 100% forgivable. You can actually get this 100% forgiven by the SBA and never pay it back. And this has never been seen. It's not going to be income. You're not going to have to pay income taxes, either personal or from your business, on this, okay? Why you need to contact somebody that knows what they're doing? People, right now, it's not the time for you to learn finances or how to get a loan. Right now, it's the time for you to grow your business, find a new business model on how to survive and move your business forward. That's the only reason these loans exist. The federal government wants to avoid another 6.6 million unemployment applications, and they want to keep people on the payroll and working. That's the only way that our economy is going to move forward after this is finished, okay? So you need to focus on your business. Let an expert look into your numbers and help you determine what's the best course for your business when it comes to your loan needs. So we can help you. You must get started. You must take action. You must be proactive, not reactive, because maybe it's already too late. The federal government has already requested the Senate and the House to increase the funding on this. There's been over 260,000 applications. The lending institutions are swamped. They're not getting anything in return. They have to do it. So they're dragging their feet. Funds are not hitting the bank accounts as they're supposed to, okay? So let's open it to questions. You're muted, Ty.
Is it Q&A time? Hello?
Yes. Either you're muted.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the presentation. I have a question. Is it too late for us that already applied on the SBA for the loan, which I already did? Is it too late for me? Or what would the next steps be if I already applied for the 10K grant and the loan?
If you apply for the 10K, that means that you have applied for the 7B emergency relief loan, okay?
Yeah.
That's another type of loan that required a personal guarantee, okay? That's a different type of loan. And yes, if you have payroll or if you're self-employed, we can actually help you apply for the 7A PPP, but the funds must be used for only payroll. They cannot be used for the intention of the previous loan, okay? But yes, you can apply for both loans as long as you utilize them for different purposes, okay?
I have many other questions, but I think a meeting after this presentation would be great.
Yes.
Make that happen.
You can schedule a meeting with us. You can call our office 619-677-6512, anybody, and we'll be more than happy to clarify more questions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
I have more questions if no one goes.
Sure.
All right. So if I want to apply for the other loan, you mentioned the 10K is called what again?
7B, emergency relief.
7B.
Yes.
Okay.
Disaster loan. Now, that loan, it's very interesting. That loan does have a personal guarantee, okay? They're saying that they're gonna forgive, okay? Or it's sort of a grant, the first $10,000. It's not the first $10,000. It's up to $10,000, okay? So be very careful. Up to $10,000.
Oh, okay. Because I was told that it was basically guaranteed that even though I wasn't going to be approved, I would still get 10K for it. But
no, up to.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that. And
there's people that have heard. I had a client who called me and say, "Hey, why haven't you approached us for the $60,000 free money for payroll?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, a friend of mine told me that she got $60,000 for her payroll for free. And I said, well, you don't qualify for $60,000. You qualify up to, I think it was $35,000 or something like that. And she says, no. She told me that her bank told her that everybody qualifies for $60,000. So there's a lot of misinformation and very bad guidelines and guidance, and a lot of people are trying to take advantage of small business owners. So beware.
Yeah, one of my issues or concerns is that I pay around 15 to 20K a year for my employees, but they're in Mexico. So
qualify.
Well, that doesn't qualify.
One of the certification is that they have to be in the United States. Now, do you pay payroll or are they independent contractors? That's different, okay? Small business owners might tend to confuse that. Yes, you have them on a regular payment schedule, but do you actually give them a W-2 at the end of the year, or you issue them a 1099?
Well, no, because they're in Mexico.
So it's a 1099. Technically, it's a 1099 regardless. Whether you pay them or not in Mexico, you must have a W-8 on record, and you must issue a W-9 with no ITIN number to them.
All right, I'm gonna
external foreign 1099s.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna need some help from you guys because I wanna establish my business, have it work good, and just need help around that.
It's very interesting your case because we are seeing it more often than not. People think that they're saving tons of taxes. People think that they're trying to keep it as simple as possible. But when times like this come around, I'm going to tell you, people are screwed because they don't have the supporting documentation. They don't have the proper structure to get access to these programs. Only companies that are sort of current might access this type of programs. So it's a catch-22 thing here. Either you pay taxes during other years, or you don't qualify for this type of programs.
All right. Well, okay. I'm definitely gonna need help with building a solid structure, and
we can help you.
Okay, I'll contact you guys after this. Thanks, Vidal.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Hi, can you hear me here, Tyler?
Yes.
Hi, Tyler. Jesse Aguirre here, BPA with Insperity. Thank you for hosting today's webinar. Thank you, Vidal, for the explanation. I shot on the chat box. I put a question up there, and I have a client who has been in business for about 22 years, and they have filed for the SBA disaster assistance loan. And basically, because she's majority owner, and she had some issues with her personal taxes in 2018, she was rejected for the loan. And now she's obviously, as I put in the chat, she's in jeopardy of losing pretty much everything. Do you have any guidance on that, or maybe ways that I can possibly refer her to you, or I mean, anything that you could explain on and expand on?
Yes. Unfortunately, the loan that you're talking about, which is the 7B disaster relief fund, does require a personal guarantee and does require for you to be free of tax liens, tax levies, tax judgments with the federal government, state government, and local government. Okay. Now, what we might be able to do is we can probably try to have her access the PPP, which is the payroll protection program, and try to see if we can help her through that avenue, or we might be able to switch her legally her ownership.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll thank you for that advice. I'll pass that along and possibly get in contact with you after.
Remember, the 7A, which is the payroll protection, does not require a personal guarantee. They'll do a soft pull of your credit. The minimum credit score is 620 or 640. They don't require, if you have tax levies or tax liens, they're not looking into it. If you have a tax judgment, which is different, then you can't qualify for it. Okay, so and the 7B, which is the one she applied, they do require a personal guarantee, which is a traditional loan, but with a little bit more flexibility.
Okay. Perfect. I thank you for that, Vidal.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, guys?
No?
Let's see. I'm checking the chat to see if there are questions there. I read, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, that despite the good intentions of the government to provide all these loans, there has been a problem with the logistics. Like, banks are overwhelmed with applications and they don't know exactly like how much money they can lend, knowing that they're gonna get paid by the federal government and stuff. I also heard that some financial institutions are a little more organized, or at least had better connection with the SBA and stuff. Do you know any banks that are kind of like ahead of the curve in terms of processing applications and kind of like expediting this process and not being like caught up in the bottleneck that is happening right now?
Yes and no. Most financial institutions are only accepting current clients that had an open business relationship as of February 15th.
Okay.
Okay. I know that US Bank, it's accepting non-clients, but they will be taken care of after they take care of their current clients. If your financial institution is not ready, I recommend you go to a third-party lender like Kavish, Lendio, something like that. Mind you, they are packaging the loans in bundles and submitting them not to the SBA, because they're not SBA authorized, to other financial institutions for them to process them. Okay? Financial institutions are acting on behalf of the federal government and the SBA. Remember, SBA, it's not a lending institution. Okay? Not the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
They provide the funds. The SBA is guaranteeing the funds on your behalf for this program. Okay? So they're becoming your partner. So they're the ones who are check marking whether they partner up with you or not, based on the information that your financial institution is providing them.
Okay.
Okay. So if your bank is not accepting applications, find a lender or U.S. bank.
Okay. Thank you, Vidal. We have
Wells
another
Fargo is
question.
now-
Oh, sorry.
Wells Fargo is now accepting applications as well, again, for current clients.
Perfect. We have another question. Thank you. We have another question from David Lan. Saludos, David. He says he's a sole proprietor and he applied for the SBA 7B loan on April 1st, and he hasn't gotten the money yet. How long does it take?
It could take up to 3-4 weeks. Whomever says that they've gotten the money, it's not from the SBA loan administration. I think that he is going to have to reapply because as of April 1st, I don't think they were ready with the up to $10,000 grant money. So we would have to.
That's the one for the sole proprietors?
Sole proprietor, the 7B had no initiation date for sole proprietors or LLCs or corporations like the 7A PPP. April 3rd and now April 10th for sole proprietors. So we would have to look into his case because he might not have qualified for the up to $10,000 grant.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing that I read, and I may be wrong, but if you are, self-employed and you don't have any employees, you don't qualify for the 10,000. You will qualify for 1,000. Is that correct?
Again, it's all based on your cash flow. And remember, they determine cash flow based on the deposits into your business bank account. Okay.
Okay.
So if you keep or you have been keeping cash in your pockets, that does not count. Unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. Now they're going to base it on your cash flow, and they're going to base it on your 1099s that you receive. Okay, from your clients. If your clients don't issue 1099s, they might not qualify those deposits as positive cash income. Okay, and you might be right, Friday. It's up to $10,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions?
I have. This is Daniel. Hey, Vidal. How you doing?
Hey, Daniel, how are you?
You just mentioned that this guy to reply for the loan again, because you know what? I applied. It was the 31st when I applied for the SBA. So
which program did you apply for? It
was the SBA. What do you call the disaster? What do you call
7B?
I don't remember. Yes. Yeah. I applied for that one, but it was I put everything on the 31st, and I haven't received anything in response to anything like that. So do I have to apply to it again?
I'm pretty sure you're going to have to reapply in order for you to qualify for the CARES Act. Okay. Let me remind you, everyone. The 7B has always existed. Okay. The Small Business Administration has always had a disaster relief fund because of the tornadoes, hurricanes, and things like that happen in the U.S. So you need to apply and make sure that you apply for the CARES Act 7B. Okay, which is the one that has the up to $10,000 grant. So you need to be very sure that you apply for that program in particular. They're different pots.
Vidal,
Dime.
we have another question from Carla Chavez. She said that she already applied for the PP Bank of America already, and they sent her the link to submit documents, and she already submitted them. She said, does she has a due date to approve deposit after she submitted the documents to Bank of America?
Nope. After we had submitted, I think we submitted like 15 to Bank of America, and we went through the same process as her. We first did a small little application online. Then a couple of days later, they contact us with a link where we are uploading, or we uploaded it, most of the, or all of the documentation that they were requesting. They are using a third party company for them to review documentation. Okay, you had to recertify the qualifications under penalty of perjury. Okay, and then after they review manually, one by one, they're going to be submitted to the SBA. Once the SBA approves, they'll send it back to this third party. This third party will instruct Bank of America to fund maybe in two installments or one installment that maximum amount. Remember, that's the maximum amount. SBA might say, hey, I'm going to only lend you 50%. Okay, so there's no time frame. There's no, this is new. Not even the federal government knows what the hell they're going to do.
Okay. We have two more questions. The first one is from Eric Magaña. Saludos, Eric. And he's asking, it looks like he already applied for 7B, and he's asking if he can reapply.
Yes, you can reapply. Be careful. We need to review, or you need to review, make sure that you do qualify for the up to $10,000 grant, because if you have duplicity in applications, that will delay the process.
Thanks, Vidal. I already scheduled a call with you guys on Monday, 9 a.m. So I'm looking forward to that.
We'll help you. No worries. We'll help anyone.
We have another call. Another question. It's from Gabriel Moreno. He's asking, what are the benefits of applying with the help of a third party, such as Invictus Advisors, instead of doing it on my own?
The thing is, the advantage is that we are going to hold your hand. The easy part, it's applying or filling in the application. It's not a complex application, okay? The hard thing is applying the funds to the proper sections that you have certified you're going to use them. I had a very interesting call yesterday, and we applied for this individual. They qualify, like, I think it was $48,000 for the PPP, okay, the payroll protection plan. He wanted it to use the money for an emergency, and he wanted it to transfer the money into somebody else's bank account, and that person disbursed. I said, well, you're going to disburse the money to one of the shareholders. That's dividends. So you need to be very careful how you disburse those funds. We are going to guide you and help you get that loan forgiven. That's the main objective of this loan. Get it forgiven. Okay? So at the end of the day, you won't have to pay this money back.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's true. David is saying that on his receipt, he has an application number, and it's for the 7B, and he did it on April 1st. So do you recommend, David, to do it again, or just wait a few more weeks?
Contact the financial institution and make sure that you did apply for the CARES Act 7B. If you did apply for the CARES Act 7B, then you are eligible for the grant of up to $10,000.
He says that his receipt says COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loan Application.
That's the one.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to reapply.
So wait, not react, no. Okay, so David, just wait.
This is a waiting game, unfortunately, because remember, the federal government, even though they have time frames, they're not ready. They're learning as they go, and same us. Like, this act was written 2 weeks ago, before it was signed by Donald Trump into law. We had studied it and analyzed it. And every day we get new guidelines, new regulations, new calculations, things that we thought that they were going to apply, now they don't apply, and things that don't apply now apply. So it's a living organism.
I think
unfortunately,
that the
it's
government
like the
was
virus.
caught up by surprise, and they didn't have everything in order. So they're kind of like updating the requirements as they are learning in the process too. We have another
And you know what?
question,
Uh-huh.
Vidal. It says, do we need to have financial documents up to date for the loan? And which
Yes.
financial documentation do we need for 7A?
Some banks are asking for financial statements, which is your balance sheet, profit and loss, and cash flow. They're asking for up to 12 months of bank statements. Even though you're applying with your own bank, they're asking for that information. They're asking for payroll journals. They're asking for tax returns for payroll tax returns for the annual ones and the quarterly ones, which are the 941s, 940s, W2, W3. So if you did not file those, either you file them with a penalty or you don't qualify. Remember, you have to be up to date in order to ask for help from the government. Okay? It's a give-give situation.
Thank you, Vidal. We have another question from Miriam Magaña. If we need to pay back this money, what's the interest?
1% over 2 years. There's a deferment of 6 months. So once you receive the money, you won't have to pay anything for 6 months. After on the 7th month, interest accumulate on the 1% per annum, and you'll pay it over 24 months. There's no penalty for prepayment. So it's very cheap money.
Yeah.
It's better than a credit card.
Any cheaper than that.
Now the other one, the 7B, it's 3.75, 4%, but you have up to 30 years to pay it. I don't recommend you taking 30 years to pay it. I don't even know your business will survive over 30 years. So beware.
We have another question from Cesar Toscano. He's asking the difference between the SB7 and the PPP loans.
They're the same. The 7A is a PPP loan, which is
SB7. I'm sorry, SB7 and PP.
Okay, the 7B, it's the emergency one. Okay, that's a personally guaranteed loan. Okay, there's a grant of up to $10,000 of the beginning, a maximum loan that you qualify, and the 7A PPP, it's only for payroll. And remember, the 7B, you can use it for anything. Okay, if you apply for both, the 7P, it's only for payroll, rent, interest on your property mortgage for your business, not for your home, and utilities. Okay, you cannot use both loans for the same purpose. You'll go to prison. People, it's not a joke. You'll go to prison and there's a $500 to a $5 million fine. They're not gonna forgive it. Be very careful. It's free money from the government. There's always a catch.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Okay, no. There was another question.
And just as a side note, you were talking about the government not learning the same as we are learning. I truly believe that they have the best interest of the small business people, community. They have come up to the plate with this program to support our community. We represent 49% of employment in the United States. 49%. So if we can keep that 49% working, we are on the other side. We are so fortunate as small business owners right now in this webinar, because I'm pretty sure our companies are still working. We're moving, even though they have contracted, they're going to expand. It's a time for us to reinvent and think outside the box. It's not complicated. As Tony Robbins say, 2 millimeters, just 2 millimeters from your competition, that's all that it takes. 2 millimeters.
That's true, yeah.
That's all it takes.
I think you're right, Vidal. We're going through some challenging times, but we gotta be grateful that we're still in business, and things are going to slow down a little, but it won't stop us from keep moving forward. And I think that by taking advantage of all these programs that are available for the small business community, it is a smart thing to do. And I really like what you say in the beginning of this presentation, when you said, like, in this time of need, we need to concentrate in our business and get support from the experts, so we don't spend endless hours trying to do something that, you know, is not helping us to keep the doors open. And then at the end of the day, we won't get the results of whatever we're trying to do, whether it's marketing, applying for these loans, etc. We have to be very strategic on how we use our money, how we use our resources, and how we leverage the connections that we have around us.
Yes, there's a question, and I'll circle back to you right now on this. Franchises do not qualify for the payroll protection, okay? And it's very interesting, Taide, because you're an expert in marketing. I should not be doing my marketing at all. If you have a heart attack, are you going to perform CPR or open heart surgery on your own? Hells no. So it's your company right now, it's either on life support or it's moving forward. If it's life support, don't even apply for any loan. Let it die and think on a new way of creating a new company. Plain and simple. Eric, he does video, amazing videos. Don't do your own videos. You have better things to think about for your business. You are in survival mode. This is war, people. This is war. We've never seen war in American soil. We are at war. Act like it. Act accordingly.
And now that you mentioned marketing and video, Eric Magaña from Premium Business Films, he's an expert of what he does. And I think in this time, everything that we do digital is going to have like a 10x return on investment. So it is important that we use that money that we get or the access to capital that we can get in the next few weeks to leverage our digital presence, because right now we're seeing at the Hispanic Chamber of E-commerce, the businesses that are moving forward right now, that they are like super busy because they have an online presence. And that's something that we've been talking about for 11 years. And I think after this, we're going to get more businesses online, and we're going to get more businesses using all these online tools to leverage their operations.
And let's support each other. If you're trying to go to a national chain for something, yes, I understand them. They have local employees, but support your mom and pop shop. Support your local community. It's the time for us as a small business owners to join hands and forces. It's a must.
David Land said jingles too. We need catchy jingles.
Yes. Everything is needed. Don't do it on your own. You're not expert. You can't. Let me tell you, Taide. We are a business consulting, accounting, tax firm. Okay. For the last 2.5 weeks, I've spent over 16 hours a day studying CARES Act. We joined multiple groups. AICPA has provided us tremendous regulations and guidance. But I understand the jargon when it comes to those terms. Don't try to understand them right now. It's not the time. It's too late.
I think you already answered the question about franchises. Erica Bravo asked about.
Yes, franchises don't qualify, unfortunately.
Okay. We have about 5 minutes left. Are there any other questions? You can share them on the Q&A window or in the chat.
Every question is good. Don't be afraid of asking questions. The more you ask, the better. Please ask for help.
We have one more about childcare apply.
What's the question?
Like a business, a childcare business.
Yes, they do. If they have payroll, yes. If they're sole proprietor, the enrollment starts April 10th for the payroll. You do qualify for the 7B emergency relief through CARES Act. So as long as you have all your documentation in order, which is your accounting, your financial statements, I already mentioned them, your profit and loss, your balance sheet, and you're willing to give your personal guarantee, then you're ready to go.
I forgot to tell you that earlier, but we have a big group of proveedoras or childcare providers in South Bay here in San Diego, in the Chula Vista, San Isidro area.
Yes.
There are probably about 50 or plus of them. I'm going to connect you with two of their leaders, because they were asking if this seminar was going to be presented in Spanish. So I'm just going to connect you with them, and they can connect with your team and provide the information that they need to apply for the loan.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Yes. And I think we're doing this in Spanish as well.
Lulu Garcia is asking, like, a personal guarantee. What would that be? What's considered a personal guarantee?
The personal guarantee is over $250,000. It's property, assets. Okay. Previous to February 15th, March 6th, our economy was based on a profit and loss, which means that what you earn minus your expenses, that was the economy. After that, the economy has changed to your balance sheet, meaning how much are you worth in reality? How much are you worth in reality? Most businesses are broke, and sometimes the shareholders, owners, are the ones who have the wealth. So that's what they want. They want your wealth. They want your trust. They want skin in the game. If you're asking for over $250,000, they are actually becoming your partners, and they want you to be all in, same as them. So that's what it means.
As a follow-up question to this, what's the size of the loan for you to put personal guarantee behind it?
If it's over $250,000,
okay,
right? Less than $250,000, you do need an amazing credit from you, and I recommend you guys go and get your Dun & Bradstreet number.
Yes.
If you don't have one, and I'm pretty sure no one has one. This is
do.
Pardon me?
We do, because you told us.
You do, because you're different. This is a inside secret. Okay, when you apply for your DUNS, don't apply as if you were not going to do business with the government.
Yes.
Apply as if you were going to do business with the government, regardless of not, because you'll get your number in less than 24 hours. Otherwise, it will take you like 3 months, unless you pay like $5,000, a ridiculous amount of money.
I think they lower it a bit. It's like 900.
But it takes too long. Yeah. But if you say that you're going to do business with the government, it's a possibility. You get it in less than 24 hours.
And by the way, I'm going to give you guys the premier, but the Hispanic Chamber of E-Commerce right now is working on a program that is going to help minority-owned businesses to do business with the government. And we're going to be announcing it really soon. Cool. So everyone that wants to qualify to do business with the government, they're going to have a DUNS number. So that's going to be one of the requirements.
Go get the DUNS. Say that you're doing business with the government. Yes.
From Erica Bravo, she's asking, if you already laid off employees or cut pay, can you still apply for the loan relief?
That's actually a really good question. If you have laid off people or have cut your payroll partially, this loan is going to help you rehire them and bring them back full force. Okay, you must rehire them and bring them back full force and continue paying their payroll. So they're going to have to get off unemployment and come back to work, which is helping your company. Put them, if your company is a brick and mortar, you're selling things to customers face to face, and you cannot do it right now, it's a time for you to restructure, it's a time for you to do procedures, guidelines, and clean up your business. This is a good time for that.
True. We have couple of minutes left, Vidal.
Yes.
Can you share your contact information maybe in the chat room again for people
Yes,
to
yes.
connect with you? Or if you have it in one of your
They can
slides.
reach us. They can reach us at 619-677-6512, or here at COVID-19.invictus-advisors.com. I'll put it on the chat as soon as I figure out how to put it.
Well, you have Jeffrey on it, so maybe he can help us
Oh,
out.
okay, Jeffrey, can you please support us with that?
With the
Or
contact
information, please?
One more question, because I know that this presentation is going to be viewed by a lot of entrepreneurs across the country that follow us on Facebook and stuff. Can you help them out if you're here in California?
We can help them out any part in the United States.
Perfect.
If you are outside the United States, but you have employees in the US, you qualify. There's people that are in Mexico, but they have employees here. They do qualify for that. There's people that are on an E1, E2, E5 visa. They qualify for that. They qualify for the loans because they're legal residents of the United States. You don't have to be a citizen.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much, Vidal. Well, let me see. I think we have one more question. Nila, one more question, Vidal, before we go. How would a realtor or loan officer apply saying we work for government? Thank you.
If you work for the government, I don't think you qualify unless you have 1099s. That's your qualification, 1099s.
Okay.
The 7B emergency relief through CARES requires 1099s. You have to produce 1099s. Okay?
And just in case we got the question from realtors and loan officers, can they apply for?
Realtors are considered sole proprietors, so they prepare a Schedule C, and they have to produce 1099s.
Okay.
Don't do them because they're gonna cross-reference with the IRS. Okay, don't do them on your own. Don't try to increase the number, please. Please, 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 please. I can't stress that. Please.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much, Vidal, and the whole Invictus Advisors team, Jeffrey and Gabriel and everyone else in your team. Thank you so much for taking some of your busy schedule to share your knowledge with us. We really appreciate it, Vidal. Anything else you would like to add before we go?
Just thank you, Taide, for the opportunity and the invitation. And remember, we are here to help our community, the small business, and all the Hispanics. Reach out to anybody that you trust to get support. Don't be afraid, really don't be afraid to ask for help. People that ask for help are the ones that grow. Otherwise, you won't. You don't know everything. We don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
And we're doing this one in Spanish, I think next week.
Perfect. I like that. Yeah, we would love to have you back here and host one in Spanish as well.
Sure.
Well, thank you again, Vidal, and have a nice day. Thank you, everyone who joined us live today. We appreciate it, and stay positive and reach out to people like Vidal and myself for any help that we can provide to you in this challenging time. So take care. Happy Thursday, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Ciao, bye, thank you.